Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, and it's been a while I know, but I've been busy playing this gigantic stack of games here. Most Wanted, FIFA 13, WWE 13, Dishonored, Medal of Honor Warfighter, Assassin's Creed 3, but we're going to be talking about this game here, Medal of Honor Warfighter. I've written a full review that I forgot to bring up so I can look at points. So if you want, you can go and read that, link is in the description. I recommend that you do, because I'll probably go into more detail in that than I will in this, but Medal of Honor Warfighter, what do I think of it? Now, I was really excited for Medal of Honor Warfighter because I thought it was fun. I thought it was, I like Battlefield and I like Call of Duty, but when they meet in the middle, I reckon that'd be really good. And so I played it, and what I played of it at EA events and stuff, I had a fun time. And I think I figured out why I had a fun time. It's because when you're in especially the multiplayer, when you're in a room and a LAN playing multiplayer with people, it doesn't matter what you're playing, it's fun because you're yelling at people, you so forth, so on. But you let me down, Medal of Honor, you let me down so bad, oh my god. Alright, where do we start? Let's start with the story. The single player in Medal of Honor is pretty short. I beat it in probably like 5-6 hours, but which is standard in shooters. But the story is a confusing, terrible mess that's hard to follow. It's derivative, it doesn't make sense. I mean, what I gathered from it is that you're looking for bad guys who have stolen or have their hands on chemical weapons, and they're all around the world, but it's unbelievably difficult to follow. Much like Call of Duty, you go from different country to different country to different country to different country. That can get confusing enough. But then you go back in time, then you come back forward in time, then you're back in time 2 weeks, then you're back in time and back in time. So in a flashback, you are going back in time. And to make it worse, you play as different characters as well. You play as Preacher, and I don't even know the name. It's hard to follow, trust me. So if you're playing this for the story, you're probably going to be highly disappointed. But one of the main threads in the story is that Preacher, who is kind of the main character, is going through a troubled marriage, and his kids and all this is because he's so dedicated to his life of warfare. And it's done pretty well, but it's like you don't really care because A, the characters are completely unlikable. And B, as somewhat, like, I appreciate the sacrifices people in the military make, but it doesn't really click with me, and I'm assuming it doesn't click with other people. Like, if you have family members in the military, is my hair, oh, the Jimmy Neutron hair is back, just realised that. If you have families in the military, family members in the military, or you are in the military, then it would mean a lot to you because that is what you do. But to people who don't have that experience, it doesn't mean very much. It's confusing, it's terrible, the story sucks. Now onto the gameplay, because the gameplay can save a bad story any time. Look at Borderlands. But the gameplay isn't very good either. It's very derivative. It's unbelievably derivative of other games. I mean, it's criminal. It seems to be designed on a checklist, like we need to have the boat level, we need to have the car level, the melee level, the escape level, the car level, the helicopter level, and it's like, oh, you're in a helicopter now. It's not like, oh, here's how you progress and get in the helicopter and stuff like this. It's just like, no, this is it. And it's so linear and so, like, games today, you can control the helicopter and shoot, you can control the boat, you can drive and shoot, but in Medal of Honor you can do one thing and one thing only. And it's just so derivative of other games, and it's boring and it's annoying. Like the core gameplay, the guns and that, they work pretty good. They're a lot more realistic than other games, if I can use the word realistic. But this is hard to explain. I don't think I did a very good job in my writing, but I'll try and explain it. There's no order to the gunfights. And I know that sounds really weird and like a really gay complaint, like, because it's like, well, what do you expect? Do you want them all to spawn from one point and just come in a straight line? No, but in Medal of Honor it's weird because in first-person shooters you're trained to push up. You kill people, push up. You kill people, train, push up. But in this, when you push up, they start spawning behind and to the side of you, and it's just, I mean, random spawns can work really well if implemented correctly, but they annoy you so much that it's criminal. And that couples with the terrible checkpoints. I ran into a glitch in the game where no matter what I do, I was in a helicopter. And at the second, what you have to do, you have to destroy everything, and then you get out of the helicopter, obviously. But just before you get out of the helicopter, a truck comes, and this RPG guy kept killing me no matter what. No matter what, I'm convinced it was a bug. And I had to go back 5 minutes and do that whole section again. I mean, games today know where the pain points are, and they checkpoint you right before them, so if you do fail them, then, you know, you're straight back into it. But this one, the checkpoints are bad. I don't like it. What else can I mention? You know, there are some good things in the game. The sound is great. The soundtrack's good. The voice acting is really good. It's got that gravelly dark tone that you would expect from military shooter kind of things and stuff like that. But that's pretty much... I mean, it looks alright. It doesn't look bad, but it's got... Because it's based on Frostbite, it has all the problems that Battlefield 3 had. Sound disappears. Characters disappear. There's clipping issues. It takes forever. Some textures take forever to load. Texture pop in. It's just... I mean, a lot of people say that this game was rushed. I'm not going to say that it was rushed. I'm just going to say that it's a bad game. It's a bad game, to be perfectly honest. But a lot of people buy their first-person shooters just to play the multiplayer. So are you going to be happy with the Medal of Honor multiplayer? No, you are not. Let me tell you why. This is my big complaint. Now, this is more of a complaint about people than anything. I live in Australia, if you don't know. And in Australia, because it runs on dedicated servers, there are a few servers that you can join. One of which actually has people in it. I've never seen more than one server with people in it in Medal of Honor Warfighter, and this is like 2 weeks after the game launched. So that right there is a pretty good indication of how good this multiplayer is. But I will tell you why it's bad. I mean, it's never fun to die in any multiplayer ever. Whether it be Call of Duty, Battlefield, anything. Anything. Unreal Tournament, for Christ's sake. It's never fun. But this game goes out of its way to convince you that you should not have died, and it's bullshit. I don't know how many times, I'll do a video about it if I remember. You shoot people with a full magazine and they don't die and they just turn around and one-shot you. It happens all the time. Grenades do no damage, but when you're in front of a grenade it kills you every time. People camp like it's going out of fashion. The guns... What they need to do is that they need to figure out, for instance, in single player the guns have a lot of recoil but they kill in a few shots. In multiplayer they have a lot of recoil but they kill in a lot of shots. So you need to kind of balance it where it's like, okay, we don't need that much recoil if it takes this much bullets to kill people. It's not balanced correctly, I don't think, and it's respawn timers. Get them away. We don't need them anymore. We need them for certain game modes. We don't need them for team deathmatch. Get them the hell away. Although Medal of Honor you probably do because you get spawned and killed a lot. The buddy system's fun, but it's... because no one plays it, I have to have a random buddy. And no one knows what the X button does. If I come to you and I start meleeing you, push the fucking X button and give me more ammo, you swine. I hate you. You know, again, a lot of issues in multiplayer I've experienced. The sound. The sound is such a big problem in this Frostbite 2 engine. In Battlefield 3 it happened all the time. The sound would stop working. And stuff like that. So Warfighter is not a very good game. I wouldn't pick it up if I were you. But if you have to, go and pick it up. I'm not going to stop you. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think of Medal of Honor Warfighter. I am out. Read my review in the description below. Until next time, au revoir.